I would like to introduce my amazing daughter, Emma Carlson, who you already know, and turn my classroom over to her.
I've been in the woods for 40 days, and so I have so many stories.
These are, and we put them, and we have marks to when you sent them to us.
Very cool, very cool. So you can tell what day it was and where I was along the way. We had kind of joked about calling her Snowflake because she was white, and then when it snowed, we were like, yep, day 2 we got an inch of snow. And so we thought that we needed to honor that by calling her Snowflake. It's 16 feet long, which is kind of short for a canoe. Some canoes are longer, but that was really helpful when we were tracking upstream and had to go on all the upstream. Sometimes we could paddle upstream, sometimes we could use a long pole and use that to push off the ground, and sometimes we just had to get out and use the ropes and pull the boat upstream. Who can talk about this paddle? What is this paddle made out of? Yeah.
Wood.
It's wood, right? And does this paddle feel pretty sturdy to you guys, right? And do you notice any scratches or anything?
Yeah.
There, yeah, lots, right? So this is a paddle that I use for whitewater, or for when we were going upstream and I knew that I was going to probably knocking off the bottom. So this is a really sturdy paddle that you can kind of jam into the ground. This is sort of delicate, right?
Plastic.
It's carbon fiber, right? So it's light like plastic, and pretty sturdy. And there's a few dings in it, but I try to be really careful with this paddle. So when would I use this one?
When you're going downstream.
Downstream, or what else? We weren't always on rivers.
Yeah.
Lakes and ponds, right? So if you think about how many times I dipped my paddle forward and put it into the water, like a million? So many, right? So to be able to use this one, it's so much lighter. So over time, it's a lot easier to use. So we would switch back and forth between these two paddles. That'd be a fun math problem to try to figure out. We call it a dry bag because we hope that it's actually going to be dry. So it's made out of plastic, and you have to close it in a certain way so that it's totally airtight. So it's kind of fun. You get to fold it over and then squish the air out of it like that, and then continue to roll it over, and that keeps my gear mostly dry. And then this is a really cool thing. Do we know what this is called? Yeah, canoe barrel or pickle barrel, because it kind of looks like pickles. And so that is closed by this metal ring. And this is where we kept our gear and food. And so someone asked about food, and I bet probably half this barrel was filled with food and half of it with other gear, and that would last us about 8 to 10 days. So we were pretty careful about the food that we brought. I think we should always find what we love to do and then find ways to do it, right? Yeah, that's definitely true.